A woodland paradise. Lovely, I'm sure. But we're here to talk about this. This is the Vitus Substance 2026 gravel bike. I'm not really sure how you pronounce the name of this company, and it's not a company I was immediately familiar with before I was looking for a new bike, and I settled on this one because it ticks all the boxes for me. So I thought I would do another one of my low effort, low production value videos just to give my thoughts and impressions on this bike after a couple of days of ownership. It is quite muddy because I'm in the woods. I'm doing what you should do on a gravel bike, and that is go graveling. I'll give my thoughts and impressions initially. I will then talk about some of the tech specs which I found on the Vitus website. I'm going to keep calling it Vitus and all these different pronunciations throughout this video, so I apologise. If anyone from the company is watching this, please do put a little thing in the comments to say how it is actually pronounced phonetically. But yeah, I'm going to change it up as I go along. So yeah, right. So I commute on a push bike, and I like to go for rides at the weekends. My previous bike was a Boardman ADV 8.6, and it was a great bike, but I decided that I wanted something a bit newer, a bit quicker, with some mod cons, things like hydraulic brakes and some better gearing. And I ended up buying this one, as you can see. So let's just have a quick look around the bike. Apologies for where it's actually positioned. It's against the tree, so you can't see it all the way around, but I'm sure we'll get there as we go through this video. So I'm reading all this from the Vitus website. So the frame is a Substance aluminium. The rear hub is a Novotec D791SB. If that means anything to you, I'm sure you are excited by that. The forks are Substance carbon. Wheel set is WTB. There's the brand there, WTB, and not one I was familiar with previously, but a WTB ST700C. The chain set here is a FSA Omega, and it says here 46 by 36 T. I'm guessing that's the teeth, but you've got two chain rings on there, so you can get the best gearing for your particular circumstance as you're riding. Front tyre and back tyre are obviously the same. These are the ones that come on the bike as standard. These are WTB Riddler TCS Light. I'm not massively keen on these because they kind of look quite sort of, they're kind of flat on the top and you know, on the sides. They're not rounded like the ones on my Boardman were, but obviously you can change the tyres if you want to get some different ones, so they're not stuck on for the life of the bike. The front derailleur is a Shimano GRX. Now, I believe that's quite a big deal on a bike of this price point, something which I'll talk about in a second. And the brakes are also Shimano GRX. So you've got hydraulic brakes, front and back discs there. You can see the GRX logo there on the brake levers. And yeah, brake rotors are Shimano RT64. Just going to run through this stuff quite quickly. Handlebars Vitus 6061 aluminium. The rear shifter Shimano GRX. Stem Vitus 6061 aluminium. Cassette Shimano CH HG 900. Now, with regards to the gears themselves, you've got 11 here on the back. You've obviously got 2 at the front, so that gives you 22 gears in total, which is more than enough for me anyway. Some of the other bikes I was looking at when I was thinking about getting a new gravel bike, they only had 1 at the front, and I don't know why that doesn't appeal to me, but you know, obviously it works for a lot of people, but just not for me. The GRX thing, I'm not, again, as I say, I'm not a huge biking aficionado, so I don't really know what the reverence of this is, but the guy in the shop was telling me that for a bike of this price point, which I'll come on to shortly, it wouldn't usually have GRX. I believe they're like the better or a better version of these types of systems. But yeah, the brakes and the gears are all GRX. If that means anything to you, please do enlighten me in the comments. But you know, what can I say? Again, it's a brand new bike, so it's going to be nice and smooth. but I've had no issues with it so far. And just look at how shiny that looks. You know, you could eat your tea off that. I wouldn't recommend it, obviously, but you know, you could if you wanted to. Yeah. What did I pay for this bike? Well, the RRP is £1,799 according to the Vitus website, and the other places that you can get these from Evans Cycles, which is where I got this one from, and you can get them from Wiggle and a few other places. I didn't pay that though. There was a sale and it was reduced to £11.99, but I didn't pay that either. The store I got it from, Evans Cycles, they actually knocked another 30% off, so I paid £949 for this. It didn't come with any pedals, so I had to get these separate, but these are flat 4 DMR. They're not clip-ins, as you can see. I think they're actually mountain bike pedals, but I'm not a big fan of clip-in pedals, so I just sort of put them on and they are fine. But yeah, what can I say? It's extremely comfortable to ride. It does everything basically. You can ride to work down the roads. You can obviously come to places like this, down tracks, you know, lanes covered in mud and all other kinds of detritus. But yeah, the gearing on it is really good. You know, it'll effortlessly go up hills, and obviously conversely going down hills, you get some real speed up with that big chain set on there as well. Gear shifting is again effortless. Granted, it's a brand new bike, practically, you know, 2 days old. So everything's going to be all working in, you know, effortlessly, really. There's some really nice kind of, what would you call them, quality of life things on here. So you've got so many of these like anchor points where you can just put things, you know, you can put your mud guards. Obviously, I've got a cheap Decathlon pump on there, and that thing there looks like a water bottle, but it's not. It's got tools in it. And like, you know, spare inner tubes and whatnot. And then you've obviously got some like mounts here on the top as well. Yeah, I don't really know what else to tell you about this bike. It's superb. I'm very, very impressed with it. Again, I didn't really know anything about this brand. I did read some reading on the website, and apparently they were formed in sort of the early 1900s as a French manufacturer of like tubular steel, and then they went on to become quite a big name in the world of biking throughout the 20th century. But then I believe they closed in 2008 or something, and then they were reborn as a new brand by a group of engineers in Northern Ireland, I think. I might have got that wrong, but I think so. And since then, they've kind of really wowed the biking world, as far as I can tell, with their different models. I asked one of my friends who's a proper Lycra warrior if he'd ever heard of this brand, and he said yeah, and they had a good reputation. So yeah, I'm just trying to show you the whole bike all the way around so you can have a good look at it. And yeah, again, I apologize, I'm not a professional at this, so you might get a better video from one of the big biking channels in the near future. But for now, for me, from an amateur, I can't complain. It's a lovely bike, and you do get a free bell, so that's always nice. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to head off somewhere. Don't really need a track on this bike, but I'll find my way out of these woods and get back to civilization shortly. Well, thank you for watching, and yeah, let me know what you think. Have you got one? Are you going to buy one? Do you want to ask any questions? Do you want to tell me how crap my video is? Please feel free. Thank you very much for watching.